Perfect.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you for joining us. We're going to roll straight into questions just so we can maximize the time we have with you. And we're going to take our first question from Claire B. Lang. Go ahead, Claire.
I'm putting a battery in my recorder. Can you ask me next and I'll have the battery in? Can you go on to the next person?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Woody Kane, go ahead and kick us off.
Thanks. Hey, Brad. The way these races are falling in the rounds, we've had Talladega at the middle of it. Now it's going to be, or in the end of it, I mean, and now it's going to be in the middle of it. You have a really good relationship with that track in terms of stats and history and that type of stuff. Are you the type of guy who thinks good it's in the middle, so we've got a chance to do something if something gets hinky on us, or a guy who's thinking, I'm not worried about it, I know we're going to be pretty good there anyway?
Oh, Brad, you're on mute. Oh, thank you. There you go.
How about now? I don't know why I keep unmuting and it remutes me. Sorry about that. Long story short, I didn't even think about it that way, Woody. You know, the biggest thing I've been thinking about is the playoff bonus points and winning in Vegas. The best thing we can do to control our own destiny is to go win Vegas, and Talladega just becomes what it is, right? And same thing with the Roval. So we're hopeful to just kind of not have to worry about it that way by scoring a win. If we're not able to do that, I'd like to get a few more playoff bonus points with stages for those races, and then that would help a bunch. But certainly this round presents a lot of challenges for us.
And I asked Kurt a similar thing, but we've seen so much evolution. I know you're focused on Vegas right now, but we won't see you before we need to use this for next week. So that's why I'm asking. But where do you see the state of these super speedway races now? We've seen everything from tandem racing to guys hanging in the back to going to the front, then all the manufacturers sticking together. Where do you kind of see the state of that type of racing now?
Somewhere along the lines of, you know, a MAV TV demo derby, just a little faster. I mean, it just is what it is. You have to, you know, call for what it is. The racing at Daytona and Talladega goes through ebbs and flows and evolutions, and it's evolved so much over the last 11 years, 12 years I've been in Cup. And it seems to evolve in, you know, yearly, sometimes every 2 to 3 years cycles. Really hard to keep in front of it. This latest iteration has just been the demo derby iteration, which has been frustrating for me because without being able to really do anything to protect the lead, it's just, you know, hoping that, fingers crossed, you don't get wrecked. But, you know, that said, my teammate Ryan Blaney has been successful. He's won 2 races and managed to survive a couple times at Daytona and Talladega. And I just look at him and go, you lucky, you know what? But no, it's he's doing something right. But I haven't figured out how to survive all the crashes.
Awesome. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate your time.
No problem.
Okay, Claire, you ready? Okay, go ahead.
I am good to go. My battery died. Thank you for your patience.
No problem.
Brad, you know, we were talking about you on the air the other night. I was talking about you on Dialed In, and people were asking about how far you've come. And then there's a discussion about friends on the racetrack with Joey Logano, right? You persevered through when people didn't know how smart that you were or how good that you would be, right? How do you look at friends on the racetrack and the whole discussion about Joey Logano and also lap traffic and when you're faster than someone?
Oh, wow. You know, there's a lot of people who think Dale Earnhardt was the best race car driver ever, and I think it was really good. But one of the things that he probably didn't get a lot of credit for and that I respect the most about him was his ability to go out and just flat out wreck someone on the racetrack. And not that people didn't get mad at him, but people forgot about it. Like, they moved on. He had it mastered. Absolutely mastered. I look at that all the time and just wonder how did he do that? Now, keep in mind that was an era before social media and before the super big sponsors, and maybe times have changed permanently and forever. But I certainly wonder about that, how he was able to basically go out and wreck people and still be their friends. That doesn't exist in Cup right now. maybe it's because no one has or will ever have the personality that Dale had. Or maybe because you can't. I don't know. But the reality is, unless you have the dominant car, you have to make bold moves, and you have to do things that make people pretty angry to win. And it's not a fun part of the process, but you can't win without it. You know, in theory, the best way is to just go out and have the best car. The reality is, on any given weekend, that's only one driver, and in any given season, you're lucky to have the best car 2 or 3 times. So, you know, I was thinking about this the other day as I was talking to a friend of mine who's a football fan, and a lot of times what I hear from people is about race car drivers, you know, are you a quarterback on the team? And, you know, my honest answer is no, I'm not really the quarterback on the team. I'm probably like a wide receiver, skilled position, because my job is in some ways very similar to a wide receiver, that when I'm wide open, I better catch the ball. That's the same as having the fastest race car. You better make the most out of it. When I'm completely covered, I got to find a way to come down with the ball. And, you know, that's when you don't have the fastest race car and you go out and still find a way to succeed. Well, let's just put it this way. Trying to come down with the ball while you're fully covered is a scrum, and you got to throw a few elbows and a few people get upset. And the position that we're in and we've been in is one where, you know, we're not exactly always the fastest car, and we got to throw a few elbows, and it's not where we want to be, but it's the reality. And the alternative is to just give up. And that's not who I am. I know that's not who Joey is.
So then is the art learning how to have people mad at you without it screwing with your head? Because if you race the way you need to, you're saying that's probably going to happen anyway.
It certainly is an art. It's one that Dale Earnhardt had figured out better than anyone else, and led to a lot of success that he deserves tremendous credit for. It's not one that exists in Cup today.
Good luck at Vegas, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Bob Pockris. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Brad, there's been some chatter about a potential dirt race at Bristol, covering it with dirt sometime in the next few years. Do you have any preference? You've been pretty good on the concrete there.
I don't know enough about it. You know, I kind of would like to, like, I have 1/10 of the information that would be required to have a respectable opinion. You know, I've got so many questions, so I kind of want to see how it folds out a little bit, or unfolds, I should say, before really giving a detailed opinion. My initial impressions are that change is good for the NASCAR schedule. Shows a commitment to trying to keep the circuit fresh and keep fan interest. Beyond that, I don't know enough about it technically to have a formal opinion.
I guess it's the big question, what type of suspension and how much dirt?
Yeah, the tire. The tire's the big question. You know, if they're going to bring a tire like they brought to the truck races, I would be very disappointed. If they bring a very high caliber quality dirt tire, I think it could be an amazing race.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Lee Spencer. Go ahead, Lee.
Thank you. Just kind of curious, Brad, when your transmission went out the other night, what was going through your mind, and how grateful were you that you had that win in the bag and there was like nothing, you know, nothing was going to stop you from moving on to the round of 12?
Yeah. Well, Lee, I think number 2 probably answers number 1. First thought through my mind was, thank God we won Richmond, but it was power steering that actually went out. I'm not sure why that happened. I know the team was trying to take a look at it, but my Xfinity teammate, Austin Cindric, had the same issue the night before. So
Right.
Hopefully that'll get solved and won't be a source of worry as we move forward. But, you know, I am super thankful for the run we had at Richmond. and glad to move on. I hate how it hurt our average finish. We had an average finish of like 1.7 on the short tracks until then this year, and that was going to be awesome. Well, that ruined that, but either way, it's over, and we're thankful to move on to the next round.
Does it almost show you or teach you the importance of wins, particularly in the playoffs? I mean, they're great during the year, but in the playoffs, it really just secures your future for that next round.
Yeah, I think if you look through the list, Lee, the first thing that stands out is you can't beat yourself. Driver, car, team. And if you do beat yourself, you better be able to win in the other races. So, you know, is it the importance of winning? Yes, but I think if you're getting down to the basics of it, you can't have breakdowns. You can't have major driver malfunctions or major car malfunctions, or you're going to be in big trouble.
Appreciate your time, champ. Have a good luck this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Mike Solarte. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Brad. Thanks, Amanda. I apologize that this has been asked earlier, but I figured that Lee's was a good dovetail into this. Vegas this week, is this ultra important given the nature of this particular round, with Talladega being a wild card and the Roval being, well, the Roval?
Well, I think it's the second most important race to win outside of Phoenix throughout the whole season, because these next 2 weeks are very difficult to prepare for, to your point. And, you know, we'd like to get a head start on preparing for Kansas and Texas, and not have to worry about breakdowns or wrecks. But, yeah, we're putting a lot of emphasis on it. Is the easiest way I can put it, Mike.
Thanks, Brad.
No problem.
Okay, we're going to take one final question for Brad, and we will go to Eric Smith. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, Brad, out of the 12 drivers left, 7 of you have a crew chief that was back from last year. 5 have changed, and you're one of the 5. And where do you feel like you and Jeremy are right now? Do you feel like you're back to where you would have been with Paul last year as far as communication, data, as you know what you want, you know what he wants? And does that help coming in the round of 12 with that?
Eric, I think the easiest way is we're kind of graduating from the honeymoon phase into the living together phase. Still pretty good. Everybody's happy. You know, I'm thrilled to death with what I think our potential is for these playoffs. But you know, we got to go to work.
Thanks, Brad.
No problem.
All right, Brad, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us, and we wish you the best of luck this weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Amanda. Appreciate everybody.